How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone is having a great day. I'm sorry I missed uploading yesterday just because wasn't feeling the best and had counseling and kind of some struggles yesterday. It was definitely kind of a spiritual battle that I was having to go to war with. Uh, and I this video is going to kind of talk about that and what you might be struggling with and how we can combat it. So, loneliness, uh, having a sense of longing, missing someone, it kind of ties into the last video that I uploaded. In my personal experience, and I have a very caring and generous heart. I really do. And I always feel like it's my purpose to have someone in my life that I can serve. Like, I very much want a wife and a family, and I want to be a good head of the household that can provide, and not with just monetarily and with like food and clothing and everything like that, but spiritually. I think a lot of us men, especially single men, feel this way. And it's hard to kind of be focused on working on yourself when there's so much that's pulling us away from staying focused. There's a lot of distractions. There's social media, just entertainment in general, music and movies and TikTok and Instagram that can help you stray from the goal of what you're trying to do in life. And when you're feeling lonely, you're probably more prone to do things that aren't good for you spiritually, whether it's, and I'm talking about sin. I'm talking about reverting to your lustful nature. I certainly have done it. It's very normal, and I'm not saying it should be commonplace, but it's just a lot of things that men in particular struggle with, especially when we have easy access to anything on your computer or your phone, literally just at the touch of your fingertips. And the times that I say that I struggle with loneliness is like when I'm alone, when I don't have really friends to hang out with because everyone's busy, or it's just, not everyone has time or really wants to hang out, or when when I'm not in a relationship and I don't have a person that I can spend time with and go and do things with. And I'm not saying I don't have an issue doing things with. I go out, I eat out way more than I should, but I eat out by myself. I go and see movies by myself. I go and do things by myself, whether it's going to a museum or I've even gone on vacations by myself. And they can be fun, yeah, but I feel like a lot of men, we struggle with wanting to do that with a woman to enjoy life with, and it's very easy when we're not getting that, I don't want to say energy, but having that feminine presence in your life, we can feel kind of left out. We can feel like we're not good enough, or that we're never going to have somebody, or that there's something wrong with us because we can't find someone who wants to be with us. And in turn, if that is the case, that, you've gone on dates, you've had short little, I wouldn't say relationships, but short little like dating spats, or I guess a fling, where you were dating someone for a couple weeks and you were talking to him every day and everything, and then it just stopped. It just ended. And then you can feel like, is there something wrong with me? Well, take in heart that, like, you were seeing someone, that they weren't interested in you, but, you know, maybe there is something in your life that you have to improve on, whether it's your situation, your living situation, what's going on in your professional career. Maybe that woman doesn't think that you're able to not provide with love and affection, but in the sense that you have to be able to also provide monetarily, it, in the sense that you're providing as the head of the household, not that you have to be super rich and you have to own your own company and you got to be a millionaire and you got to have a big house and this and that, because truly a lot of that stuff is not that important. You can have a good, solid relationship without being rich. And I think having a good relationship while also being able to provide for your family, that's the riches that are really important in life. You want to be rich in relationships and love, not money and not prosperity of like you live in some well-to-do neighborhood or you know, where all your friends are, you're in the social circle of everyone is doing great and you guys go out to some fancy restaurant every week or a couple times a week, and that's just really not that important in life. The most important thing is having a solid relationship with God. And in turn, I think it is truly important that you have solid relationships with people that are close to you, your friends and your family, your spouse, your girlfriend. And when we're not feeling like we're getting that or we have access to that, it makes us kind of spin off and kind of do what we want to do, which is idolatry, man. Whether it's drinking, giving into lust, having anger, doing things that you know that you're not supposed to be doing because it feels good at the time. And you probably know this because if you're watching this video, you're probably struggling or have struggled with this in the past. But that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good. If you've ever slept with someone out of desperation because you were feeling lonely, and then you feel guilty like, man, this didn't feel right, or you watch pornography, or you went and spent a bunch of money, or you ate a bunch of food, you know, like gluttony. You're indulging in gluttony, which I've struggled with a lot in the past. Even still do sometimes from time to time when I'm not feeling good, because in the past I have ate my emotions. I don't know if I mentioned this, but there's a time where I was almost 300 pounds, and I'm around 180 pounds now, but I had to lose that weight. Anyways, that'll be a video for another time. But, you know, it's hard as a man to not go to those things because they're so easily accessible. So I kind of want to talk about now what we can do to mitigate and kind of repent and go away from making those choices that separate us from God and, you know, don't make us feel good. You know, they hurt us spiritually. It should kind of hurt you it should hurt you spiritually when you're doing the wrong thing. And like I said, it can be a number of different things. But what can we do? One, go to God about it, pray about it, ask Him to give you the desire to do the right things, to make the right decisions in life. Because if we're left to our own devices, we're going to choose sin every time. In my life, when I really wasn't doing well and I was making all the wrong decisions all the time and really turning away and questioning my faith and everything, it wasn't working out for me because I was trying to do everything on my own, and I was thinking, well, whatever I'm doing is best for me. Well, it wasn't. And I'll talk about that in another video, about things that I was doing that ultimately led me to I'm not talking about living this prosperity gospel life, because I think that's pretty bogus. But I'm talking about like just not having good relationships with my family, and more importantly, God, and not being a good steward of my faith. And what else we can do about it other than just go to God, which obviously is the most important thing, but what we can do with ourselves is read the Word, get in your Bible, talk to a friend or a family member or a biblical counselor or someone that you trust at your church that you can go to and talk about these issues, because more than likely they've struggled with it too in the past. Especially men. I don't know any guy in my life, any man in my life that hasn't struggled with the same things that I've struggled with. We're all sinners. We've all done the wrong thing before. We've all choosed the wrong person or the wrong idol to indulge in that ended up making us not feel good, or continued like it made it easier to continue to do those things, which will kind of destroy your life. And you don't want to do that. So you go to a friend. If you're having struggles with pornography addiction, or you're having struggles with indulging in sin, whether it's you're buying stuff that you don't need, like Uber, like not Uber, what I'm saying is like, but like a real addiction to, what is it? Retail therapy, where you're not making the right financial decisions, where you should be saving money or paying your bills or paying your debt, but you're choosing to go out to eat and spend money that you don't have, or spending all your money on things that are not important in life. Like it's and one that's not going to do well for you, especially if you're feeling lonely and you want a relationship and you want to find a spouse. No woman is going to take you seriously if you don't have it financially together. It's just the truth. And it's a hard truth, but it's something that you have to realize. If you're not set, and I'm not saying you have to be super rich, but if you're not able to provide, really think about this. Do you think a woman is going to take you seriously? And I've had to ask myself this, so it's not an attack on you as a person if you're watching this, but ask yourself, do you take yourself seriously? If you know that you're continuously choosing the wrong thing to do and indulge in, but you're like, why can't I get my life together? Well, you have to look in at yourself and be like, am I really making the right decisions? Am I really choosing the right thing to do? Because the answer is probably no. You're not doing the right thing. And I hope to God that you guys are. I hope everyone that sees this isn't in that position. And let this be a reminder that if you're choosing the right things, continue to choose those right things. Continue to do right by God and being a good steward of your money. Well, it's His money. But continue to do that. Stay strong, man, or woman. Continue to do those good things. Those are definitely things to admire in a person when they have it together. And I'm not putting importance on like they live in a super big house or they're a millionaire or whatever. It's like, but they're not going without, they work hard. They're putting in overtime. They're doing whatever it takes to, and I'm not saying just get ahead, but to provide for either themselves or their family. And that's a powerful thing. That's what we're called to do, is to work and work hardly. And we work for the Lord more than anything. And also on top of what else we can do, like you said, like I'm saying, don't just go to a friend and to God, but ask for accountability. Like if you're struggling with spending money or pornography, download an app that is able to allow someone to see what you're searching. I think that's having accountability, because if you're not able to be accountable for yourself, then how are you ever going to get better if you're not trying to ask someone to be like, hey, I want you to see what I'm looking up. And that will hold you accountable, because if you're looking up things that, like, would you want your mom or your dad or your grandma or your younger sibling who might be significantly younger, but they're like a child, would you want them to see your internet history or your purchases, like what you're spending all your money on, whether it's drugs or alcohol or just stuff that you don't need? Um, what do you want? Do you want that? Like, would you feel even more shameful? I mean, and I'm not saying that like I want you to feel more shameful or God wants you to feel more shameful about this, but you need to have some conviction in your life that makes you choose better. Um, and asking someone you love or you care about, and if they love and care about you, say, hey, man, hold me accountable. I need help. Because God's going to hold you accountable. One, um, He's the ultimate form of judgment. And when you're sinning and you know you're sinning, it doesn't feel good. You do feel like you're separating yourself from Him. So those are some things that you can do to help mitigate you from choosing the wrong thing. Um, and especially like too with money, and you're not good with money, go to someone who can help you write up a budget. There's tons of videos on YouTube on how to budget, and there's tons of people out there who are probably good stewards of of money, that they can say, hey, like, why are you spending money on this? Why are you spending money on that? And again, if you're using retail therapy to help fill that void, it's never going to work. If you're using uh, pornography or any adult content that's helping you fill that void of loneliness, um, it's not going to work. Food, it's not going to work. How many people do you know that are super obese that continuously choose to make those decisions? And like, you may be healthier in the sense that you're not carrying an extra 50 to 100 or even an extra 20 pounds. Like, you're healthy in that sense, where you have a good BMI. Um, but you hear them say, I'm just so miserable. And it's just like, you can see that from the outside looking in, that it's like, well, dude, you're eating McDonald's all the time and you don't exercise and you don't do anything with your time that's valuable to help change your life. Um, and it's just the whole thing of continuously choosing the same choices, making the same choices, and not having a different outcome. That is insanity. And I'm telling you, you can stop it. You can do better. Thank you for watching this video. I just wanted to say that, this video kind of went on a tangent, but it's very important that you make the right decisions in life. And don't let loneliness control your situation or you choosing the wrong thing. Go to God. He's always going to be with you. His love is truly the only love that you need in life. He's always going to provide, even through suffering, knowing that you're saved through the sacrifice of Jesus. And I just want to leave this, or leave on this note, but it is not because we obey God that we are saved. It's because Jesus obeyed God that we are saved. Like I said, if we're left to our own devices and do what we want to do, we're probably going to choose wrong every time. That's why you need God in your life. That's why you got to make good decisions. Yeah, I'm kind of fired up. I'm going to put up another video here in a little bit. But yeah, I hope through this tangent that I've gone on that you're able to combat loneliness and not letting it control your life and dictate you going down a negative spiral. So thank you.